Welcome to Shining Waters Yoga. This is a short practice for relieving tension in your neck and shoulders. It can be done anytime during the day. So if you sit a lot for your work, you could just take a break. You can do it seated in a chair, or if you feel like you want to stretch your legs, you could do it standing. You don't need anything special. I will give an option for one of the stretches that you can do it at a wall if you have wall space, but if you don't, you can do it without the wall. So either way is fine. Well, let's take a moment to come to a comfortable seat. So we'll start seated and just notice your breath. So finding an evenness in your seated posture, making sure that you're not slumping or rounding into your lower back. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, soften your shoulders. So just taking a moment to become aware of the breath and how you can use that exhale to soften and let go of tension. So all of the exercises we do today will be more effective if you use the breath. Taking a deep breath in, as you exhale again, soften the shoulders. Notice any tension that you're experiencing in your neck or shoulders now. It's also helpful to gather this information before we start. And then taking a deep breath, you can actually press down into your lap a little bit, shrug your shoulders up to your ears, and exhale, let it go. And do that again, deep breath in, shrugging the shoulders, exhale. So there's that sense of tensing and then relaxing. Big breath in, shrug your shoulders, and exhale, let go and release. And then we'll start with some simple shoulder rolls. So rolling those shoulders forward, up, back, and down. I'm going to sit a little bit forward in my chair. And again, you could do this standing up. Simply rolling the shoulders forward, up, back, and down. And use your breath. Inhale as you lift and exhale back and down. And then start to bend your elbows and make a bigger movement, so allowing the arms to follow the shoulders. Again, using the breath, inhaling through your nose, and you can exhale through the nose, or you can sigh it out through your mouth. Whatever works better for you. And then start to circle the whole arms now. Being mindful now if you have any shoulder issues, if you have restrictions in the movement, you might stay here with the elbows bent. If you can't take the arms up, back and down. So again, respect any injuries that you might have or be dealing with, tendonitis. But this movement can help to break up scar tissue, to restore range of motion once you've healed from any injuries. And then relax the arms down at your side. Take a moment to pause and notice how you feel. So we'll do all of that going in the other direction, starting to circle the shoulders back, up, forward, and down. Opposite direction now. Using the breath. And then bending the elbows, bringing the arms into the movement. And then the full arms, back, down, forward, up, or up, forward. Adding the breath. relax the arms back down to your center. And then from here, we'll take the arms out no higher than shoulder height, so not way up here. Shoulder height, maybe a little bit lower, turning the palms up, the thumbs back. Big breath in, root down through your feet. Inhale, take the thumbs back as far as it's comfortable. And again, be mindful of any injuries here across the pec or into the shoulder. So some of you may not have as much range of motion. Take a deep breath here. And as you exhale, cross your right arm over your left as if you were going to give yourself a hug. See if you can find your shoulders or maybe even your shoulder blades with your fingers. So some folks will have more range of motion here than others. And then you can take a small movement here, lifting your elbows as you inhale. And exhale and bring the elbows back down. Now, some of you if you're able to keep the elbows stacked and double cross here, you could make a V shape with your arms and inhale and lift and exhale and lower. Or you could even double cross and take the palms together and inhale and lift, squeezing those elbows and exhale and lower. So you've got 3 options. Breathing in, lift up, squeeze. Feel that sensation in your upper back and exhale and lower. And remember, if that's not accessible to you, just take the V shape, exhale, lower, or even keep the hands rooted on your shoulders and just lift the elbows. One more time. And then if your arms are double crossed, actually you could stay. We're going to go ahead and circle the arms double crossed, or again, if you're holding onto your shoulder blades, circling the elbows here. So I usually teach it this way, but you can double cross if you've got that mobility. Making some circles with the elbows. And then relax. Inhale, open wide, turn the palms up. Big breath in, lift the sternum. Exhale, cross left over right. So that big invigorating breath can also help to wake you up in the middle of your day. We'll start to inhale and lift the elbows. And exhale and lower. Noticing that stretch across the back as you lift between the shoulder blades and exhale and lower. And again, you could make the V shape. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Just give you a little more movement. Or if you're able to, you can double cross. Inhale, lift. Squeezing the elbows here. You'll feel a little more sensation. And exhale, lower, taking your time with the movement. And then we'll start to circle the elbows. So you can circle here, or here, or here. And then switch the direction of your circles. And relax, release the arms, roll the shoulders back and down, sitting tall, take a deep breath. Exhale it out. And then moving into the neck. If you're seated, you could go ahead and hold on to the side of your chair or the arm of the chair and just gently start to lean to the left. Take your left ear towards your left shoulder, but instead of crunching in the neck here, take your chin to your chest so you feel a little length there in the back of the neck. You could let this arm hang as well. This is where you really want to use your breath. So as you inhale, take a big breath all the way up to your collarbones, and as you exhale, soften in. Big breath in. Exhale and soften. Some of you might even want to take the left hand and place it on the top of your head, adding a little weight. But notice you're not pulling. There's no pulling here. We want to be really mindful and careful with the neck. And you may notice if you have shoulder issues that lifting this arm up then creates tension in the shoulder. So you may not want to do that. You might want to just leave the shoulder down, especially if you're dealing with tendonitis. And then come back to your center. We're going to work the same side of the neck, that right side. So now, taking the right arm out to the side, press that hand as if you were pressing into a wall. And here's where, if you have a wall space, you can come over to your wall. I have to turn away from you. So press your hand into the wall. Again, your wrist is in line with your shoulder. Press into the wall. Feel that stretch through your wrist, which is also great if you're doing a lot of writing or typing. You're going to get a stretch in the wrist and the forearm and start to turn your head to the left. Breathe here. Exhale it out. You might feel a lot of sensation in the hand. This is a great stretch for the muscles of the hand as well. So if you're seated and you don't have the wall, you're just going to be pressing into the imaginary wall and turning your head to the left. Big breath in. Sigh it out. One more breath. Pause. You can let your arm rest for a moment. We're going to do one more thing on that side and then we'll switch sides. So as you're ready, go ahead and turn your head to the left once more. This time, take that arm, turn the palm up, and again, take it out as if you're holding a platter. So we did this with both arms earlier. You're just going to take the right hand, parallel to the floor and in line with your shoulder, so not higher. It can be lower if you're experiencing tension here. But play with it. So take a deep breath. Exhale. Maybe you feel a little release here. Maybe you're able to take the thumb back a little more. Maybe not. So again, no forcing. Deep breath in. Exhale it out. Maybe extend your lower jaw, which looks really silly, I know. We're sticking your teeth out. Or you could also take a lion's breath. Big breath in through your nose. Exhale and stick out your tongue. And release back to center. Let your arm rest. Feel that blood come back down into the hand. Tuck your chin, lengthen through the back of your neck. Take a big breath in and exhale it out. Noticing a difference here in sides. I can even feel a little sensation here in the jaw from doing that little jaw release. And then simply going to the other side. So we'll start with the hand pressing into the imaginary wall if you're seated, and then turning your head to the right. Noticing tension here in the neck. Maybe also tension here in the shoulder. You're pressing through, activate that hand, really press, and you'll feel it in your wrist and your forearm. And if you have access to a wall, again, you might want to stretch your legs anyway. Press your hand into the wall, keeping the wrist parallel with the shoulder, and then start to turn your head away. And I'm not turning my feet or my hips, I'm keeping them forward and just turning and looking away. Take several breaths here. Again, this is one of those ones where you get double for your money because we're stretching through the wrist, the forearm, the palm, the hand, the fingers, as well as the neck and the shoulder and pec muscles. Take one more breath here. Exhale it out. And release that hand. Let it rest for a moment, and we'll come to the second stretch. So this time, inhaling, taking that arm, turning the palm up, thumb back, as if you're holding a platter. Nice and slow. Take it back to where you feel a little resistance, a little stretch, but no pain. Okay, maybe mild discomfort if you're not used to stretching here, but no pain. And then turning your head to the right. Take a deep breath. Use the breath. Exhale. Maybe you feel that arm grow a little longer. Maybe you take the thumb back a little bit more. Use the breath. And then maybe even letting the lower jaw come down, sticking it out. Or taking a lion's breath. Inhaling through your nose. And exhale and stick out your tongue. Soften your jaw, let the arm come back and rest. Tuck the chin slightly. Lengthen through your neck, creating space here now between the shoulders and the ears. See if you can lift a little taller. Exhale it out. And then lastly, kind of evening all of that out with a little neck circle. So again, being really mindful if you have any cervical spine issues, any neck issues, especially with taking the chin up. So a couple of choices. You can pretend that you're looking at the face of a clock and take your nose around the face of the clock. So to all of the numbers on the face of the clock, and doing it really slowly, mindfully checking in and seeing where you might feel restrictions. Mine is on this side of my neck. I have arthritis, so I can feel it when I turn to the left. But if you think about drawing the circle with your nose, you're making a much smaller circle. Now, if you want a larger movement and you're okay with it, you can kind of tilt the head forward and let the shoulders move with the head. So this is less localized in the cervical spine. It's a movement where the head's kind of following with the shoulders. It's not localized in the cervical spine. So this might also be an easier movement for some. So either way, taking the movement that feels appropriate for your body and coming back to center, and we'll go the opposite direction. So again, you can kind of use the shoulders and the head as you take everything in a big circle. Be really mindful with the way that your neck wants to move. Or you can come back to the clock face and take your nose around the face of the clock. Again, really slowly. So checking in with movement and only doing what feels right for you. Come back to center, take a deep breath in, exhale it out. And then one last stretch that's really nice for the front of the neck, especially if you're looking at a computer or your cell phone, right? We get the cell phone neck thing. So taking your hands to the left collarbone, and you're just going to gently sort of pretend that you're holding that collarbone down. So don't press really hard, especially if you've got osteoporosis, osteopenia. If you've got weak bones, you don't want to press down really hard. You're just kind of resting your hands as a weight there. And then turning the head to the right, start to lift your chin. Take a big breath and exhale. Feel that stretch in the front of the left side of your neck. Be mindful that you're not crunching in the back of the neck. You're keeping the neck long. So again, if there's any pain, you just want to come out. You're going to take 3 long breaths, or maybe hold it for 10 to 20 seconds. Again, you might even feel this up into your jaw. Release back to center. And then just going to the other side. So we're going to hold onto the right collarbone as if there's a little weight here. Just kind of anchoring it. And then turning the head to the left and lifting your chin slightly. So stretching through the front of the neck. And you can sort of play with the angle, see what feels right for you. Taking those deep breaths. Use the exhale to soften, release, and let go. And then releasing all of that. Take your hands now and interlace your hands behind your head. So the thumbs come to the side of your neck. My index fingers are interlaced right at the base of the skull. Imagine that you could gently give yourself a little lift back here. And then exhale and just allow the head to be cradled by the hands. Inhale, lift from your sternum, stretching across the front of the chest. And exhale and soften in around the ribs, the shoulders, the chest. One more deep breath here. Again, this is a good energizer. And exhale and release the shoulders down. And one more time, let's circle those shoulders. Forward, up, back and down. Forward, up, back and down. And then pause and check in and just notice how you feel. Sitting up tall as you exhale, again softening through the shoulders. Notice if there's a little bit more lightness there. So check in with whatever is present. I can sense there's still a little bit of tightness over here. This is my tight side. It might be the same for you. One side might be different than the other. I definitely feel more open than when I started. Just taking a breath or two to notice what's present for you. Coming back to that breath, feeling a sense of fullness and energy as you inhale, and a softening and a release as you exhale. Resting your hands, blinking the eyes open, returning to your day. Thank you for sharing this practice. Be well. Namaste.